There are people who can walk into a room and change its temperature. They don't shout, they don't chase attention, they just arrive. And somehow everything around them slows. Your thoughts, your breathing, the rhythm of the moment. Their presence bends the air as if gravity remembered its purpose. We call it charisma. But not all light is warm. Sometimes the glow that draws you in comes from a fire that burns quietly, deep below the surface. Charisma is power, and power is never neutral. It can inspire, it can heal, it can lead entire crowds into motion. But power can also seduce. It can manipulate. It can pull you toward someone until you mistake their confidence for truth. The line between inspiration and control is thinner than we like to admit. Charisma begins with attention. A charismatic person knows how to direct it, like a spotlight that follows them wherever they go. They pause at the right time, hold silence like it's part of the sentence, use their eyes to ask questions they never voice aloud. It feels authentic, but charisma is a performance, and the best performances are the ones that make you forget there's an audience. Psychologists talk about something called the dark triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. 3 patterns of behavior that twist empathy into strategy. The narcissist feeds on reflection. They crave the shimmer of admiration more than the warmth of connection. They'll tell you who you are, as long as it makes them look brighter beside you. The Machiavellian plays emotion like chess. Every kindness hides a move. Every confession has a purpose. They listen, not to understand, but to gather information for later. And the psychopath, perhaps the most unsettling of all, studies emotion like a foreign language. They don't feel empathy, they replicate it. They mirror your tone, your rhythm, your breathing. They learn what love sounds like so they can use it as a key. To them, connection is not sacred, it's tactical. We meet people like this more often than we think. The boss who charms a team into silence. The politician whose sincerity feels rehearsed. The friend who always makes you laugh but never lets you talk about your pain. The partner who promises change and delivers apology instead. They all have that same magnetic pull. They make you feel seen, but only in the light that flatters them. And we fall for it again and again, because deep down we want to be seen. That hunger for recognition is the doorway through which manipulation walks. We mistake intensity for intimacy, certainty for wisdom, control for care. And when someone seems to read us perfectly, we rarely stop to ask why they're so fluent in our insecurities. Charisma itself isn't evil, it's just amplified humanity. Presence mixed with confidence, a rhythm that syncs with the people around you. In good hands, it builds trust. In darker ones, it builds cages made of praise. Healthy charisma creates space. Dark charisma consumes it. Healthy charisma leaves you feeling capable. Dark charisma leaves you dependent. The difference is subtle, but you can feel it in your nervous system. Ask yourself, do I breathe easier around this person, or do I hold my breath? Do I feel calm or careful? Real charisma doesn't make you shrink, it lets you unfold. It doesn't hypnotize, it harmonizes. It doesn't steal your focus, it shares it. That's what genuine influence feels like. Not control, but resonance. The danger lies in the quiet erosion of self. The more you orbit someone else's gravity, the less you notice the fading of your own. Charismatic manipulators rarely break you outright. They reshape you slowly. They plant doubts where your boundaries once stood. They call it love, loyalty, devotion. And by the time you notice the cage, you've already locked the door from the inside. If this sounds dark, remember, shadow only exists where there is light. True charisma has a shadow because it has power, and every kind of power asks the same question. What will you do with it? Will you use it to elevate others or to make them orbit you? The most quietly magnetic people don't try to impress. They're simply present. They don't need to fill silence. They listen until silence speaks back. Their confidence isn't loud, it's grounded. They can hold attention without needing to hold control. They're not the sun in the room. They're the gravity that keeps everything from drifting apart. Beware of the light that blinds you. Not every glow is a guide. Some just want to keep you from seeing beyond them. Charisma is not a mask we wear. It's a mirror. It reflects both our desire to be noticed and our fear of being ordinary. The most powerful people in any room rarely need to prove it. Their charisma lives in stillness, not performance. They don't shine to be seen, they shine to illuminate others. They don't demand loyalty, they inspire it, quietly, through consistency and calm. True charisma steadies you, false charisma swallows you. The difference isn't in how they speak, it's in how you feel once they stop. Yet even knowing this, we still fall for the glow, because it's human to crave light. When someone looks at us with absolute certainty, it feels like safety, even when it isn't. Most people don't seek power, they seek belonging, and a charismatic person seems to offer both at once. That's why it's so dangerous. Think of the last time someone's words stayed with you for days. Not because of what they said, but because of how they made you feel. Maybe it was admiration, maybe it was confusion, maybe it was that quiet ache of wanting to be chosen. That's the subtle art of emotional gravity. You orbit a memory long after the person has left the room. But the antidote to dark charisma isn't distrust, it's discernment. You don't have to close your heart, you only have to open your eyes. Ask yourself, do I feel small next to their confidence or safe inside it? Do they speak to my potential or to my fear of not being enough? Real power never needs to convince you, it simply invites you to rise. There's a kind of charisma that doesn't sparkle. It hums quietly beneath the surface, steady, patient, alive. It's found in people who have made peace with not performing, people who don't need to hold the room because they're already holding themselves. Their silence is full of meaning. Their gaze doesn't measure, it witnesses. They don't lead through noise but through presence. That's the kind of charisma the world forgets to celebrate, the one that feels like home, not heat. One day, you'll meet someone like that. And it won't feel like fireworks, it'll feel like exhaling, like being able to stop pretending for a moment and still be seen. And maybe that's the real test of light, whether it blinds you or helps you see. Because in the end, the most magnetic force we have is authenticity. It doesn't demand attention, it earns trust. It doesn't manipulate emotions, it honors them. Charisma without compassion is just control wearing perfume. But when charisma meets humility, when confidence softens into empathy, it becomes something sacred. It becomes connection. So when someone walks into the room and changes its temperature, pay attention to your own pulse. Does it race or does it rest? Because the light that truly belongs to you will never make you question your own. True warmth doesn't dazzle, it stays.